Good morning, friends. It's Miss Marilyn, and I wanted to tell you a story today. And remember, this is a story you already know about Mr. Wiggle and Mr. Waggle. Now, Mr. Wiggle and Mr. Waggle were very best friends, and they lived in beautiful houses on the opposite sides of town. So one day, they went in their house. They shut their door. Then Mr. Wiggle thought, I want to play with Mr. Waggle. So Mr. Wiggle opened his door, went outside, and shut his door. And then he went down the hill and up the hill, and down the hill and up the hill, and down the hill and up the hill, and down the hill and up the hill, till he got to Mr. Waggle's house. And he knocked on the door, and he waited, but nobody answered. So he went to the back door, and he knocked on the door, but nobody answered. So one more time he knocked on the front door, and he waited. But Mr. Waggle never came out. So he went down the hill and up the hill, and down the hill and up the hill, and down the hill and up the hill, and down the hill and up the hill, to his own house, where he opened the door, and he went inside, and he shut the door. The very next day, Mr. Waggle was thinking to himself, I'd really like to play with Mr. Wiggle today. So he opened up the door, he went outside, he shut the door, and then he went down the hill and up the hill, and down the hill and up the hill, and down the hill and up the hill, and down the hill and up the hill, until he got to Mr. Wiggle's house. And he knocked on the door, and he waited, but nobody answered. So he went around to the back door, and he knocked on the door, and he waited, but still nobody answered. So one more time he tried the front door, but Mr. Wiggle didn't answer. So he decided to go down the hill and up the hill, and down the hill and up the hill, and down the hill and up the hill, and down the hill and up the hill, to his own house, where he opened the door, he went inside, and he shut the door. Now the very next day, both Mr. Wiggle and Mr. Waggle decided that they wanted to play with each other, so they decided to open up their doors, go outside, shut the door, and then go down the hill and up the hill, and down the hill and up the hill, and down the hill and up the hill. Oh my goodness, Mr. Waggle, how are you? They were both so excited to see each other that they played with each other all day long. They went rolling down the hill and then climbing back up, and rolling down the hill and climbing back up. And they talked about their days and how much fun they'd had at home until it got dark. And then it was time for them both to say goodbye, so they gave each other a hug. And then they went down the hill and up the hill, and down the hill and up the hill, and down the hill and up the hill, and down the hill and up the hill, till they got to their houses, where they opened up their doors. They went inside, and they closed their doors, and they went to sleep. And the next time that Mr. Wiggle and Mr. Waggle wanted to play with each other, they used their cell phones to call each other before they had to go down the hill and up the hill, and down the hill and up the hill, and down the hill and up the hill. All right, guys. I hope you had a lot of fun doing this story with me. Hopefully you were doing it along with me. I will talk to you later. Goodbye.